There is no consensus among historians, cultural mediators, and experts on how the tradition of Deusi Bhailo began. Deusi Bhailo is a ritual of going from house to house, singing songs and giving alms during the Festival of Light, Tihar. Deusi Bhailo is associated with folklore and dance. We all sing Deusi Re today, but have you ever wondered when we all started to sing it? Deusi Bhailo according to Purans. Deusi Bhailo is mentioned in the Purans. Deusi Bhailo song is associated with King Bali or Bali Raja. Bali Raja used to rule the earth. He was very generous. He would not eat anything without donating to his subjects every day. This gesture of generosity started to tremor the heaven itself and the gods. Seeing that there was no resolution to this tremor, gods prayed to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu, as the preserver and protector of the universe, promised his fellow gods to suppress Bali Raja. Lord Vishnu then disguised himself as a dwarf Brahmin and went to Bali Raja's doorsteps and begged for 3 steps of land. As it appeared, dwarf Brahmin was very small and his legs were also very small. Bali Raja was under the illusion that dwarf Brahmin had asked for a very little land that fit his size and granted his ask. Once Bali Raja promised the dwarf Brahmin 3 steps of land, the dwarf Brahmin grew larger in size and just one of his foot covered the entire earth. Other foot covered the sky. After that, Bali Raja was so confused and amazed as to where his not-so-dwarf Brahmin will take the 3rd step of land. Bali Raja then pats the Brahmin's head. Then Lord Vishnu, disguised as dwarf Brahmin, steps his foot onto Bali Raja's head, and now Bali Raja goes underground to hell or Naraka. In the end, Bali Raja prayed to Lord Vishnu that he'd be given an opportunity to travel around the earth once a year during the festival. It is said that by accepting the prayer, Bali Raja was allowed to come once a year and lights were lit in the belief that Bali Raja would come on the occasion of this festival. People who sing Deusi say that they were sent by Bali Raja. Females also sing Bhaili song to welcome Bali Raja during this festival. Some devotees say that the people of Ayodhya sang Deusi for the reception of their king Ram. It is also mentioned that during the holiest of all the months, Kartik, they used to indulge in charity, take dips in holy river, and light a ghee lamp and sing, shouting Deusi slogans. Legend according to Kirat. The Kirat community has its own interpretation of Deusi Bhailo. The Kirats mention that Deusi Re has its own history. According to the legend of Kirat, during ancient times, kingdom of Kirat had a king named Balihang. He was a popular king who was knowledgeable about astrology, making predictions, and even had answers to the world's most infamous topics, life and death. He predicted his own death and informed his subjects and asked them to keep their house and their yard clean on the day of Kartik Onsi and pray for Yuma Samang, the Kirati goddess. The news caused grief among the people. They kept burning incense from the morning and prayed for their king to be saved. King Balihang could not survive. However, the people bowed before Yuma Samang and kept praying. As a result of all their prayers, Yuma Samang rejoiced and gave back the life of King Balihang. King Balihang was revived. During those times, in local language, Deusiyara means to inquire and beg for a new man in the village. Failo Failo means we will save, we saved, or to beg. Exchanging the happiness of enthusiasm, people celebrated all night long by saying Failo Failo. Historians have an opinion that the word Failo lost its pronunciation as a part of a diachronic changes, has now become Bhailo, and the word Deusiyara has now become Deusire. Legends according to Mughals. It is also believed that the Deusi tradition started with the Mughal army. The Mughals invented Madal, and they were the original promoters of 2 dance forms, Maruni and Deusi Nach. Even though Maruni dance was started in the western part of Nepal, it was in the east that it began to multiply. Mughals adopted Maruni and mixed it with eastern cultures and developed what we call a Sorathi dance. As far as singing Deusi is concerned, back in the days, from Rangit River in Darjeeling to Sikkim in the east to Arun Nadi in the west, There was a Limbuvan kingdom which was ruled by a very pious Yaktumba king Balihang. He spent most of his time in performing dharmic rituals. At the time, his most trusted soldiers were muggers. One day, when the king was in the middle of his usual religious ceremonies, an enemy nation attacked. While King Balihang was oblivious of this fatal attack to the nation, the rival nation was thwarted by his loyal Mugger soldiers who chased after the enemies away and started chanting Deusire Failo, Deusire Failo. In their language, Deusire meant we, Failo meant saved. Later, when King Balihang came to know about this attack and how his brave Mugger soldiers had saved his kingdom, he ordered that every house was made aware of this courageous act. King's guards went door to door, spread this heroic tale of saving the kingdom and the king. And this practice of celebrating the heroes of the nation continued every year on the same date. Gradually, the Eastern culture spread all across Nepal, and even today, Kiratis go from door to door singing Deusire in the name of great King Balihang. Thus, we sing, Hami afei aeka hoinau, Bali Rajako hukum huda aeko, Deusire, meaning we are not here for our own accord, we are here following the marching orders of Bali Raja, and thus started the Deusi Bhailo.